Today we are going to work with Spring annotations. How we can work with the annotation by with the help of Spring. Okay. So far we have completed like setter injection, constructor injection, all these things, collection injection. So a primitive type injection and object type injection we have already seen, right? So how many kinds of injection are there? So all these things and the life cycle, everything, bin life cycle, whatever, all these things we have seen before, right? Today I am going to explain you how we can work with like Spring annotations. As part of the Spring annotations, we have mainly bunch of annotation like 10 to 12 annotations are there. So like @ component, @ auto qualifier, primary, bean, configuration, controller, service, repository, lazy, scope. All these are the annotations that is there as part of the Spring framework. Okay, that we are going to discuss one after another. Okay, so but specifically if I say today I'm going to cover like how we can make use of the auto injection, auto and the qualifier annotations. Okay, these are the two annotations we are going to see as part of the today's videos. Okay, so let me tell you. So before we are using whatever the application we have developed, just we have used JDK 11. So here I have changed the configuration to JDK 17. Here onwards we are going to use JDK 17 and the Spring latest version. So nearly 5 to 6 months I was working with a different context and I was busy with some other work, and in the meantime I have published so many videos in other areas as well, like servlet, JSP and Java 8 features. You can check my playlist, right? So there you will find what other activities I have worked on. So if you find suitable, then you can check it out. Okay, so okay, without any further delay, let's start with the annotations. Okay, so for that what I'm going to work here is like I have changed the, as I have said, like I have changed the version Spring Core to work with the core. This is the core module we are working with, right? Spring annotation means Spring Core annotations. This is Spring Core annotations. So Spring Core 6.1.3 and Spring context we have added as part of the SPOM file, and this is the application context. So let me, without any further delay, let's start with the working example, right? Okay, so for that let me create with the, so here what we will do let me I will recap what we have done and where exactly the auto and auto injection, the auto how we can annotate the auto and how it will going to work with the application, right? So that part I am going to show you. Okay, so let me take the student class here. Student I'll quickly write private int sid, student id, and private string s name. Okay, shortcut name I'm taking, and here these are the two primitive type property belongs to the students. Okay, so let me tell you one scenario. If a student having a student id and student name, and this student, particular student has been enrolled to one of the course. So course is a type, there may be a course is type belongs to another entity, right? So private course is the type, and here we will take the course, student course, what course student has enrolled, that I just wanted to take. Okay, so since this course is not yet created, so we are going to create. So before that let me tell you. So in Spring what we are doing as part of the application context, so what we are doing here, we are configuring our bean, so that application Spring IOC container, what it will do, it will auto detect this whatever the bean has been configured as part of the application context, and the application once that is identified by the IOC controller, the what it will do, IOC controller will create the object of that whatever the property that is having for that, and it will try to inject to the whatever the class it want to inject. Okay, the bean injection will happen. That is what I want to specify here. Okay, so what I'll do, So to make use of that, what I'll do, I will create the getter setter for all the property, for every and each and every property, and here at the end I will insert, I will do toString method also for the displaying purpose. Okay, so this part is done. Okay, let me create this course. Okay, so class course, create the class course, and this is Prakash IT, and here is the class course is having private. Let me take a string course id c id. It is a string I have taken. Okay, so private string c name. Okay, this is the two things I have taken. So similarly, as it is, like what I will do, I will take the getter and setters for this getter and setters for all these two things, and at the end, what I will do, I will take the toString method as well. Okay, so this is the things I just wanted to take. Okay, so class creation of the student, having the student property and name and the course. Okay, this is the reference type for the student. So this course I have already also created. So now how the Spring, once we created the Spring application, then Spring application will create the object of for these two classes, right? Student and course, it will create the object and it will inject. So for that we need to configure here, right? So for that, what I am going to do here is, like, I am going to write the bin tag first, bin. Then for this bin id is equals to, what is the name is, course. Okay, so course, and class is equals to com dot workers it dot course. Okay, this is the course name I just wanted to write. Okay, this course is having what are the property that is there. This is the primitive type property. So how we can inject the primitive type to the course object? So how we can do? So by means of, if you are using property means setter property, setter injection, then we are going to inject by via the property tag. Okay, we'll use the property tag. Property means c, property name is cid, and here this is the primitive type. So value will be, for example, cid is c underscore 01. This is the value. Okay, right. Let me copy this. This is the c, and another property is name, c name, for example, this is spring. This is the spring, course name is spring. Okay, so this is the course class I have configured. I am injecting, I'm trying to provide the what are the thing that is the spring will inject to this course object. Okay, similarly, let me create the bin for the student object. Okay, bin id is equals to student, and class is equals to com dot dot student. So this is the student class I have written. Then into the student class, what property we should inject, right? So we should write the student ID, student name. This is the primitive type. So we'll write the property tag for that, and course for the reference type, right? So okay. So for that, what I'll write property name is equal to student s ID, right? That is the student ID, student name. Okay, s name. Okay, student ID, and value is equals to, what is the value? Value is equals to some examples, student ID, student ID 101. Okay, these are the things I just wanted to write, and again the property tag name equal to s name, and value is equals to some Prakash. Okay, so this is the things I just wanted to write, and after that, so this is the two bins we have just specified, for one for course and one for student. This is the two bin we have specified here. So what it will do, how the spring will inject the student object into the student object from this line it will create the student is equal to new student. Into that it will set the setter property to value with 1 and set name is equal to value equal to Prakash. Okay, this is the things, the meaning of this is that one only, right? So into this, into the student class, what we want to inject another property, the course. So how we will write that? So course is also here is a property name equal to course, right? Property name equal to course, and what type of property this is? This is the reference type, right? Is not it? So if you go to the student property, so this is a reference type, course type, right? So what we want to do, we have to write a ref equals to, what is the ref? Ref is nothing but the, this is the ID for that course, right? So this is the course we should inject. Okay, so if I write, then what it will do, if we call the once we create the context object and call the bean method, if I call the student object, then what it will do, it will inject this all this value and it will inject the reference value as well from this. Okay, so basically what we'll do, like IOC container will create the object for this course object and the student object, then what it will do, it will inject the student object to the course object. Okay, by any of the injection, like setter injection or constructor injection, but here we are using setter injection, though property tag we have used for that. If we have constructor injection, then we should have used constructor tag. Okay, constructor have an arc. Okay, fine, that is make it apart. Okay, so let me write the test class auto word test. Okay, that is my intention is to show you how we can do auto air, so that I'll show you. Let me write the main method, then let me quickly create the application context is equals to new class path application context, and here inside this the application context file, application hyphen context dot xml. Okay, this is the things I just wanted to provide. Okay, so one that is done, then I will call the context dot get bean method. Get bean method, what is the bean method? Bean name is student, right? We have specified student. Okay, student, and one that is called what type it is? Student class. So student dot class. Okay, once that is done, then let me assign to the local variable, introduce one local variable. This is the student object. So if I call the student object student, so what it will do, it will IOC container will be created, then on calling of the get bean method, what it will do, it will create the object of for this bean course and student, and it will inject the student ID and student name into the student class, and this course also it will inject. Okay, so that we are going to see. Let me show you this one. So as you can see, the student object is 101 Prakash and course is also injected. Okay, so this is the setter injection we have done. Okay, fine. After this, I'm not going to explain setter injection, constructor injection. So I have to show you how auto wiring works here. Okay, so with the annotation, with the help of annotation. So before that, so in order to demonstrate like one of the auto wire, so I have choose the setter injection approach, right? So here okay, let me show you here. Here what we are doing, we are injecting this course reference type into the student object, right? Reference to the student object. Okay, so how it is injecting, it is injecting by finding the reference object, reference type, right? So if I comment out this, if I comment, oh, it is commenting. Okay, now it worked. Okay, fine. So if I comment this, if I run, then what value we will get? We will get the this one, and course yield will be null. It should be null because we are not injecting. Though the IOC container will create the object for this and it will inject to the course, but we are here, we are not injecting. So that is why we got the course as null. Okay, fine. That is expected. Okay, so by what other means we can inject this course? Okay, so whenever we have the student, we are creating the student object, and while injecting the primitive type SID and SNAME, student ID and student name, then it should inject the reference type as well. So for that, so what we can do, we can specify this auto is equals to by name, right? So here I am writing like auto by name. So what it will do, so in the student class, if there is a reference type student class is a reference type of type course. Okay, what it will do, it will inject that reference type into this student object. While creating the student object, it will inject into the student class by the name, field name is what, field name is course. Okay, whatever the course, if for that course, okay, so let me go to the student, and here is the properties course. So what it will do, it will make, this is the id, this is the property is course. Okay, so for course, and here whatever the course we have, the course property should be configured, right? Otherwise it will not work. This course id, the bin id, here the course bin id, and the by name means this class by name means by name. Okay, the property by name is course, this course, and whatever the bin id we have specified here, that should match. Then only it will inject the course reference type, it will be injected into the student object, right? So let me, if that matches, then it will inject. Okay, so let me run and show you. Here by name course is there, and the id is course matches, so that is why it is injected. Let me show you, like the property name is course, but here let me change the id, bin id, to course 1. So what it will do, it will not find the match. It will not uh, make the injection into the student class. Okay, so let me run and show you what are the things we are getting. Okay, so it will not find those, so that is why it is not injecting. Okay, this is fine. Up to this it is clear, right? Okay, this is how we can work with the by name. Okay, so there is another property we can work with the by type. Okay, so by type means, if even though there is not a matching bin id with the property, then it will, if it finds the type means, here the bin id is pro type course, this package, this type is course type. If there is a property, whatever the property is there of type course, and here whatever the class name we have specified, the type is course, if that matches by type, if you are using by type, then it will, what it will do, it will inject, it will, while doing the injection, it will inject the reference type with the help of by type. Okay, so if I run and show you what it will do, we can see it will inject the course, right? We're finding it is injecting, right? So that is not a issue. Okay, fine. So this is what we can work with the by type. Okay, and what else is there? Constructor is also there. Constructor we can do, we can make the constructor and we can do. Okay, so that we can see. Okay, let me show you the constructor as well. Constructor, so what we can do, we will do the student class, we want to inject this property with the help of constructor. So for that I'm going to create alt insert and constructor for this property only. What it will do, this property will be injected by the constructor injection. Okay, so if I go, if I constructor, okay, then if I run this, then what it will do, it will inject via constructor injection. Okay, so as you can see, it is injected by the constructor injection. The three types of injection we have seen now. Okay, so let me copy this line and comment one line, and here I'm going to remove the auto air things. Okay, here I'm going to see the remove the auto air things. So then if I run this one, so it obviously the course will be null because we are not injecting. Okay, so we have made the bin id course, so that is why we are getting this. Okay, fine. So let me rerun again. No default constructor. Okay. So what it is doing, it is trying to error creating with name student and no default constructor found. Okay, fine. So what it is doing, it is trying to create the inject via the what via through constructor, right? So constructor, so though we have, since we have used constructor here, okay, so that is why it is giving the issue. So let me oh, why it is not working sometime. What I have done, I have commented this line. So now if I go and run that, then it should work. Okay, now it is working fine, but the course is injecting as null. Why? Because here we have not specified anything. Okay, so in order to work with the auto air, like how we have shown in the constructor and setter by name by type, so here same way we can work with the auto air things with the annotation. So what we are going to do here is like let me tell you, auto air, it will work only for the reference type property. Okay, not for the primitive and string type. Okay, auto air annotation we can use on the top of the setter, or it may be the constructor, or it may be the field on the top of the field level. So what we can do, I mean to say, we can use the constructor injection with the on top of the field, or it may be a setter, or it may be a constructor. Let me show you one after another. Okay, so here is the setter course. Okay, setter course. So what I'll do, I'll write auto air. Okay, auto air injection I want to perform here. I have specified the auto air. Okay, if I run, as you can see, it will inject, but this time it will not work. Okay, you will see course is same, course is same null, right? Why? Because in the application context we are dealing with the annotations now, but here in order to work with the annotations we have to specify some special things, right? So what we have to do, we have to use the schema context that we have used already, and here we have to use another tag, context colon annotation config. This is the tag we have to use in order to work with the annotations, core annotations, right? So what I am going to do here is like I am going to again rerun this application again. Okay, now this time it should work. Okay, as you can see, it is injecting the course property as well. Okay, into the student. Okay, that is fine. So here, if I go to the student object here inside the on the top of the setter injection we have used. Okay, the auto air. Let me copy this and let me comment this auto air here, and let me use the constructor. And here we have the constructor. Okay, okay. Otherwise, let me cut this and let me create the constructor again. Constructor. Okay, going to work. Okay, let me create the constructor, and the constructor in the for the course property we have already created. Okay, so here is the constructor. On top of that I'm going to write the auto add. Okay, so this time I have to use auto add on top of the student. So so what it will do, it will inject this course, so while injecting, right? So if I run this, you can see the same thing we are getting as an output. Okay, so that means we have used the auto air on the setter and as well as the constructor on the top of constructor. So now if I comment this, if I comment, or else what we can do, we can comment this one, these things, and now I'm going to work on the top of the property, right? On the proper, whatever the property we have, I have used the auto add at the top of the property. Okay, so I have already told we can use auto add in the three places, right? In the setter as well as the constructor, or else in the property level. Okay, three places we can use auto add. Okay, so the same result we are going to get. If I run now, it is also going to work in the same. Okay, as you can see, like we got the same result, same output. Okay, so this is how we can work with the auto add, right? Okay, fine. Up to this, it is fine. Okay, now if I want in the application context, here we are using only one bin we are injecting. So into the student object, we are injecting the course, only one course. Okay, so let me take the same property, and if I try to inject the course property, here is the course property 1 and here is the course property 2. This is the two things. Okay, course property 1 and course property 2. Let me rename this as C2, and this is not Springs, this is uh, Java, for example, Java. Okay, so these are the two things I just wanted to inject. Okay, so if I run this, we'll get the exception because it will confuse. Like while injecting this, even though we have used auto air, so while injecting the reference type, it will find two course 1 and course 2. So the IOC container will confuse which property it should inject, why which bin it should inject. Okay, so if you go to the logs, you can find no qualifying bin of the course available. Expected single but being matching bin but found two course 1 course 2. So here it is confused like which one to inject. Okay, no qualifying bin. Okay, so what we'll do, so if we do while injecting the student, so if I use AutoWare and again resolve that, what we can do, we can use the qualifier annotations. Okay, qualifier. Then here what we are doing, we can specify the id, like we have two id here, course 1 and course 2. If you want to inject the course 1 here, while specifying here in the student which bin it should inject, the course 1 or course 2. Okay, so that we can specify whenever there is a like class kind of thing, like there is a conflict. Well, in that case we can use the qualifier understand. Okay, so what it will do, it will, okay, so if I go to the qualifier annotations, okay, so if I hover on the qualifier annotation, this annotation may be used on the field parameter qualifier candidate or a qualifier for candidate beans when auto wiring. It may also be used to annotate the other custom annotation. Okay, fine. So what is basically saying, whenever we are doing auto wiring, so whichever the bin qualifies, we can use with the conjunction with auto add. Okay, whenever we are doing the auto add, so what we can do, we can use the qualifier also. Okay, to specify which bin it should detect. Okay, we have to tell to the IOC container. Here we have specified course 1, so at the time of injecting, so it will pick the course 1 bin id. Okay, so if I run this, then you can see it is injecting the course. Okay, to the what to the student object. Okay, so this is how we can work with the auto add as well as the qualifier annotations. Okay, that's all for this video. We'll meet in the next video with the new annotations of the Spring. Okay, thank you.